Hello, it's been a while. I've missed you. Today is going to be a very casual video. I'm starting to get my bearings again in this strange digital YouTube space, but I want to talk about things that have been comforting me lately because it's been a very difficult month for me, a very consuming month, and a very busy month. So all of these things together, the only thing that I can kind of muster up to talk to you about today is the way that I've been able to self-soothe and regulate and parent myself, essentially. So we're going to talk a lot about comfort. I have written down a lot of things in my little journal notebook. Everything from gaming, TV shows, movies, perfumes, candles, what else do I have on here? Books, and a few other things. So I'll talk to you about them today. And I find comfort in horror, the genre as a whole. I think horror is such a fascinating genre to me because it's such a big umbrella and there are so many different things under this umbrella. Anything from like cozy, spooky, cute to grotesque, body, disgusting, despicable horror. So there's something for everyone. But I have always found comfort in this genre. There was a time in my life when I was too anxious to deal with anything in this, and it was kind of a sad time because this means a lot to me. So a lot of the things that I've been kind of clinging to lately have been horror, especially horror gaming. So I'm excited to talk to you and I hope you enjoy. Again, this is going to be a casual video, so hope that you find comfort in this, at least whenever you watch this. I'm going to start with some perfumes that have been giving me a lot of comfort. And for me, there's a lot of different notes in perfume that I feel comforted by, like a wide range, and they can be anywhere from gourmand, vanillic perfumes to things that smell like a campfire or an abandoned church. For whatever reason, I find comfort in these fragrances. So I'll tell you about some of them today. I'm not going to show and tell every single thing that I have in this notebook because we'd be here forever, but I'll spotlight a few of that I think are worth mentioning. I guess the first one, and one that I use for sleep often, is Molecule plus Iris. This bottle is empty. Actually, this is O1, but my other bottle of Iris is also empty. This is a very soft, skin-like perfume. It's simply just the note of Isoi Super and Iris. So it's very skin-like, and it just kind of feels like you're being enveloped inside of your bed sheets, and you kind of feel like you're in a cloud. But I really, really love Molecule plus Iris, like I said, especially for sleep. You've heard me talk about this perfume ad nauseum if you are not new to my channel. This is Snow Moon Magic by Source. This is actually their older bottles, which I kind of prefer, to be honest with you. I'm trying not to use all of this. I use more of my new bottle just because this is like, I don't know, I love the way that they did this, and I'm kind of sad they changed it. But the notes in this are marshmallow, Tahitian vanilla, cookie butter, lavender chai, tonka, and crystals. And this really reminds me of the movie Kiki's Delivery Service. It kind of feels like you're a cottage witch living in the middle of the forest, baking the most delicious, like, cookie bedtime treat imaginable. I think the lavender chai in this just signals to my brain chemistry that it's like time for bed. So this is like my other favorite comfort sleep perfume. There are two perfumes on this list that I have really been loving and I don't have full-size bottles of, but it is my birthday this weekend. So my goal is to obtain these perfumes because they've been on my wish list for a long time. So I've just been kind of mooching off of these samples. And they are Mist Puffer and Hex and Salb by Storis Guggen. Mist Puffer is a very balmy, like forest floor type of perfume, but it also there's vanillic qualities as well. It reminds me of a foggy forest in the middle of October and you're eating a cookie at the same time. I don't know how else to explain it, but I really love this perfume. It's so strange and love everything about that. I also love Hex and Salb, which is this like herbal, medicinal, witchy perfume that has notes of black licorice in it, which I love. I love black licorice as a candy, as a scent, literally everything. Actually, Diptyque made a candle called Encre, which they don't make anymore. It's one of my favorite candles of all time, but that has an ink and a black licorice note. Love that. But Hex and Salb is a very witchy perfume, and so that is very high on my birthday wish list this weekend, and I hope to get a bottle. The other perfume that I'm obsessed with, that I don't have, that I would love, is Warm Bulb by Clue Perfumery. And it's essentially supposed to smell like a burning light bulb. And for me, it reminds me of like watching cartoons with my brother in the early 2000s, before social media even existed, except for like Club Penguin. And just the smell of like nostalgia in a strange way, like a very liminal, addictive, staticky scent that's warm at the same time. Like, I don't know, it makes me feel warm in my stomach. I don't know, like, obviously it's not a scent that you would wear out for a bunch of compliments, but that's not the point of perfume. So I've been weirdly loving that. Kind of want a full-size bottle of that one too, just to smell. Sometimes I'll just spray it in the air just to like be around the scent. But I find a lot of comfort in that perfume. Bois de Balancourt by Maison Louise Marie is another great perfume. It's a very comforting scent as well. And they also make a candle. This has a sandalwood type of note in it. It's woody and it smells like cashmere, like your favorite cashmere sweater or your favorite blanket. I think it's a great late summer, early autumn transition perfume. And again, the candle of this is wonderful. I also have been loving Hinoki by Comme des Garçons, which is my favorite woody perfume. I think it's the perfect epitome of what I would imagine a forest to smell like, specifically in the Pacific Northwest. I really love this perfume a lot. Yeah, it almost has the crispness of ISOE Super, which kind of give it that addictive je ne sais quoi. Like you can't put your finger on it. You don't really know how else to explain it, but it's very addictive and it kind of makes you want to like nestle your nose into a lover's neck. That's what this smells like. I feel like this is such a beautiful perfume on a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. Like, this is just stunning. I'm obsessed. I just got a brand new bottle of Relique d'Amour by Arisa Legrand. This is one of my favorite perfumes of all time. This also has notes of ISOE Super, but it is very much a perfume that kind of reminds me of an abandoned church in a foggy forest, if you can see a theme, or like a graveyard in the fog in the middle of like January or in the middle of March. There's ISOE Super in here too, and it's like a lily, cold stone, almost like the inverse of a perfume. It smells hollow. It just smells like a ghost, and it's one of my favorite perfumes ever. If you're looking for like a niche perfume to buy and try, I highly recommend this. You can wear it all year round. It kind of reminds me of Laura Feline, but more fresh. Like when I smell this, I feel like I can take a huge breath of fresh air. Last cozy perfume I want to mention here is Hayal by Katana, which is a jasmine rice perfume. Rice is not listed in here, but to me, like, this is one of the most beautiful rice perfumes I've ever smelled, and the jasmine note in this is also stunning. I try to be careful with this because it stains your clothes, but I've never smelled a more andalic, beautiful floral in a perfume in my life, and I love the way that this wears on the skin. It just reminds me of a rice pudding, like the best rice pudding that you've ever had. Okay, while we're on the topic of scent, I do want to mention some body care that I've been loving, especially before bed. And hate me all you want, but Bianco Latte has a beautiful lotion. I'm not super keen on the scent as a perfume, but I think the lotion before bed, if you're craving a gourmand, I think that this is beautiful, and I think that you should give it a chance, even if you're a Bianco Latte hater. The other perfume, or lotion, sorry, that I've been loving before bed is Vanilla Verve by Cyclar. I love Cyclar because I think it's an affordable brand. If you're wanting to get a really good affordable fragrance, this is a spicier vanilla, which I love. This also pairs well with a lot of fragrances, so if you're looking for a vanilla lotion or body care that can play nice with your other perfumes, I really love that. Crescent is the other Cyclar lotion that I love a lot. That's a very unique scent, and I feel like it's a unique gourmand. It's not a vanilla, but it is very warm and enveloping and cozy. The other lotion is the EOS Vanilla Cashmere, which I know everyone talks about and everyone has, but I do think that's a great affordable bedtime lotion. And they just came out with a pumpkin one for fall, which I'm really excited about too. Lastly, for body stuff, this is kind of bleeding into sleep, but I love wearing hand cream to bed. If I want to do hand cream for functional purposes, to make my hands soft, I like this. This is also good to make your hands look younger as far as like any wrinkles, fine lines. This is the ROC Germ Correction Firming Serum Stick. So I do this first, and then I put this Gold Bond on top of it. So this is really good from like a functionality standpoint if you're interested in this sort of thing. Two of my favorite hand creams of all time are the L'Occitane Shea Butter in that silver tube. I have it. I just, again, did not want to bring my whole bathroom cabinet with me here. But the L'Occitane Shea Butter hand cream is stunning. It's beautiful. It's cozy. It reminds me of my mom. It's very thick too. And then the other one that I really, really love is the Frederic Malle Iris hand cream. It's a soft, like my Frederic Malle hand cream with molecule plus iris. Oh my God. I feel like an angel when I wear that perfume, especially if I have like white bedding, and I don't know, it makes me feel like a Victorian princess angel, and I love it. If you're into iris, I highly recommend that Frederic Malle hand cream. It's so beautiful and fresh all year round, but I think especially for bed, it's just perfect. Last scent category, and then we're gonna move on to sleep. For candles. So we're gonna talk about candles real quick. My favorite candle of all time is Altar by Byredo, and it kind of smells, let me tell you the notes. It has clove, carnation, ylang ylang, papyrus, vetiver. The other favorite Byredo candle that I love so much is the chai candle, which has cardamom, clove buds, ginger zest, incense, mate, violet, birch, gaiac wood, warm latte. The chai candle to me reminds me of if you move away from home for school or work and you're coming home for the holidays for the first time in like a year, and in that hypothetical dream world you get along with your parents and they're still together and everyone's gathered together and your mom is making your favorite meal of all time. That's what the chai candle feels like to me. Altar reminds me of going to the Halloween store in the late 90s, early 2000s. The smell of that craft store and all of the Halloween decorations. And like, I don't know how else to describe it. It also smells like an abandoned church, like a burned down abandoned church. And they smell like that in equal measure. I don't really know how else to describe it. The other candle that I've really been loving lately is this new, I think this is new at Bath & Body Works. It's Cider Lane. I bought 2 of these. Oh my God, it just smells so, it's so comforting to me. And like, look at the art on this candle. I don't know who was responsible for this year, but like, oh my, it's beautiful. I love apple. I love apple. Apples are my favorite fruit. Apple season, September, the anticipation of autumn. Like, apples to me just feel like the most comforting thing in the world. And the notes in this candle are warm caramel, Granny Smith apple, dark brown sugar, ground clove. So essentially you've gone upstate in New York and you're going apple picking with your best friend. And you decide to have like a cozy girls' night in with a few of your best friends, and you're putting on your favorite like autumnal movie. You're putting on a Nora Ephron film for sure. And you're making chili and cornbread, and like you have made an apple pie, you brought home apple cider donuts and you brought home an apple pie, and you're all splitting it together. And then you have a few like mini apples that you saved, and while you're watching When Harry Met Sally, you're also making caramel apples with peanuts and M&Ms and fun little decorations, and that's exactly what this smells like. Highly recommend the hand soap too. I have a couple more candles that I'm going to recommend to you. One of them is also by Frederic Malle, and they don't make it anymore, unfortunately, but you can probably find it on resale. They also don't make this anymore, but you can find it on resale sites. I highly recommend The Hunt. Find it and get it while you can. The gardenia candle from Frederic Malle reminds me of my grandmother and my grandfather because gardenias are their favorite flowers, and it's also Ethel Kane's favorite flower too. But gardenias are, if you can capture gardenia at its most pure form, it is the most beautiful flower, the scented flower, in my opinion. I've yet to find a gardenia perfume that smells photorealistic to gardenia. I found one that's very close. I think it's called Satsvia by Grand Flora. Anyways, the Frederic Malle gardenia is stunning. The most photorealistic gardenia I've ever smelled in my life. Last candle that I want to recommend to you is called Amber Oriental, which I don't like that they named it that, but it's by Mise en Serre, and that's another very, very, very beautiful gourmand that's not super vanillic, but it's one of the most beautiful amber candles that I've ever smelled. So, and that's by Mise en Serre. All right, that's all of my scenty comfort things that I've been loving lately. But I think it's time we talk about sleep, because I have so many good recommendations for you. And as someone who has like very little sleep, I'm going to tell you what works for me, and I really, really hope that something in that list works for you too. Okay, let's talk about sleep. There was a period of time during this month where I was running off of 2 hours of sleep every single day, and I genuinely thought that I was going to die. It was very bad. I can function off of 2 hours of sleep. I don't recommend it, and it's definitely like one of the worst. It's not fun. So I figured out some ways that help. I don't necessarily have a lot of trouble falling asleep because once I'm asleep, I'm out. For me, my mind spirals in good and bad ways as soon as it hits like 12:30, 1 a.m. And so I find myself wanting to stay up to be productive because that's when my brain is the most productive. But I do think that there are ways to help enhance your sleep. I don't think, sleep is a strange thing, because what works for me might not work for you. And I think that there's a lot of marketing tactics involved in sleep that are so unnecessary. So take what I say with a grain of salt, because you have to do what works for you. I'm just going to relay what works for me, little things that I do to kind of trick my brain into thinking that I'm going to have sleep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm trying every day to be better, because with my job, with school, with everything that I'm doing, I really need to have all of my attention and energy spent there. So I'm prioritizing them. There are a lot of really great sleep books that I've read too. So if you want recommendations, just let me know and I'll tell you. But yeah, let me tell you some things that have helped my sleep. This first thing that I'm going to mention is very expensive. And I kind of hesitate talking about it because unfortunately it was worth every penny. I didn't drag it over here, but I can show you a picture on the screen of essentially what it is. But it falls over your eyes and over your ears. It's basically a face pillow, and it's like all natural, whatever. Anyways, I am obsessed. It has definitely improved my sleep. I feel like I can, once that thing hits my head, I'm out. I also have the travel size, and I use the travel size to snuggle with, and just, I sleep, I'm a side sleeper, and I always sleep with my hand like tucked under my head and in the fetal position every night without fail on my left side, always. But this face pillow has kind of helped me sleep on my back more, which is what's recommended. But when I do sleep on my side, I kind of put it on the side of my face and I snuggle with the travel one, and it's just like, I have very, very good sleep with that thing. I've tried every dupe. I've tried everything else. And I will say, oh, I should tell you what it's called. It's called Sleep Crown. You've probably seen it all over TikTok if you're on Sleep Talk. Unfortunately, like it's worth it. And I might even just like do maybe a whole YouTube short on it just to do like a full review. But I really, really, really love my Sleep Crown pillow. Here's the thing. I'm justifying this in girl mathing it in my head. You spend a lot of time sleeping. You spend a lot of hours throughout the entirety of your life sleeping. And I think if you are to invest in anything, if you have the means to invest in something that will enhance your sleep, make it about sleep above everything else, because your sleep affects every single thing in your body. So if you need to girl math it in your head and justify the purchase, like read up on some science about sleep. Not saying that everyone needs a $200 pillow to fall asleep, but it certainly helped me. Moving on. Okay, I wash him. He's been through it. This is my like lovey stuffed animal. I sleep with him every night. I love him so much, and I could not sleep without him, but this is my little bear that I sleep with. I recommend stuffed animals for sleeping. My little bunny, my chocolate bunny, I sleep with her every night too. I think he's who I just end up with, and she sleeps next to me is what I've gathered from how they look. But I recommend stuffed animals. It works. They work. I love them, and I think that everyone should have them, and you're never too old to have a little stuffed animal friend. I'm going to be very, very careful about supplements and things of that nature, because there's a lot of science behind some of these supplements that are that you can read up on your own, because this is not the space for me to talk about, and I'm not a doctor, so I can't, like, I feel like I don't have the credentials to talk about this in a way that is going to be helpful for you. So I recommend you do your own research, because there's a lot of science about melatonin, and I feel like there's a lot of people who promote melatonin in wrong ways. What I will say is that I don't take melatonin. I do like magnesium. I like the Calm magnesium, and it does help me feel relaxed. So that's the only supplement that I take for sleep, and I don't usually take it every night. I usually don't even take it for sleep, but if I want to feel relaxed and calm, I do love the Calm powder. Scent is important to me, and I think that I have found a few pillow mists and linen sprays that I think are absolutely stunning. The first one that I really love is the L'Occitane. It's called like Cocoon Serenity. Love that. It's very herbal. It has lavender, orange, geranium, bergamot. I think Dead Cool makes some pretty good linen sprays as well. This is the Taunt Bergamot Vanilla Amber. If you're into more like a vanillic gourmand type of linen spray. Frederic Malle has a beautiful one. One of them is Orange Blossom, and the other one is Rose. And I think that they're both absolutely stunning if you want a more luxury, high-end, expensive linen spray. I think Frederic Malle makes beautiful ones. There's one that I haven't tried, and it's on my wish list, and I saw it recently. Hopefully my microphone hasn't been scratchy. Wait, there we go. I saw it recently, and it's by Heretic, and it's called Monster Spray, and it has lavender, chamomile, cedar, neroli, orange, bergamot, sandalwood, vetiver. Literally everything that I love, and I feel like it's gonna smell like a witch's apothecary. I really want that one, especially for autumn, Halloween. I think it's perfect. So yeah, those are pillow mists and linen sprays, and I do believe in the science of scent and the power of scent as it pertains to the activities that we kind of embark on throughout our day, sleep being included in that as well. moving on. My two favorite mattresses, actually, I have three favorite mattresses that I've ever tried in my whole life out of every hotel that I've stayed at, what have you. Sattva makes a great mattress. Birch Living makes a great mattress. The best mattress that I've ever tried in my whole life is this one. I was staying at the Highline Hotel in Chelsea, and the Highline Hotel has a mattress. I don't know what it's called, but oh my God. I actually should look that up. I know they sell it. It was the best sleep I've ever gotten in my whole life. Highly recommend that if you're in the mood for, or on the hunt for a new mattress. The Highline Hotel in Chelsea mattress. You should Google search that. For bedding, I need your help because Cozy Earth makes really, really soft, comfortable bedding. I have no doubt about that. But I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there is a better bedding brand. I have heard that Costco makes a comforter that's really amazing. It's called the Hotel Grand Down Comforter. And I've heard nothing but really incredible things about that. And you can get that at Costco. But if you have bedding recommendations, let me know. I know that everyone promotes Brooklinen, what have you. Actually, Piglet in Bed is high on my wish list. And so is, oh my goodness. I'm blanking on the name. Tekla. If you've tried either of those, let me know. All right. Speaking of bedding, unfortunately, Lola blankets are worth it 100%. And so are Barefoot Dreams. And they're in competition with each other, but in my mind, they're not because they serve different purposes. For me, the Lola blanket stays at home. It stays at home. It stays, you have a Lola blanket on your couch or on your bed, and it's kind of like that's the designated Lola blanket area. For travel, for mobility, for kind of moving around the house, a blanket on your lap, Barefoot Dreams. That's their role, that's their responsibility, that's their duty. I love them both equally for different reasons, and I highly recommend both. Love them both. They're worth it. If you are like, I don't know what I want for Christmas, put that on your list. And the Sleep Crown pillow. Barefoot Dreams makes amazing robes, and I will die on that hill. I sound like a basic autumn girl right now, but like I don't walk around my house or get into bed. Like I'm always wearing slippers, my UGG slippers throughout the house. Obviously not in bed, but like I think having a slipper or like having a cozy shoe, house shoe is really important. My journal, like my journal time before bed is, again, not to sound basic, but like it helps me untangle my brain because that's what keeps me up. I think when you figure out like what it is that keeps you up or inhibits you from falling asleep, like then you kind of tackle that. For me, it's like my brain is spinning. So what do? I have to untangle my thoughts, and the journal helps. This is my Paper Republic, and my dear friend Jolisa makes these little journal charms. Also like stunning jewelry, so check her out for sure. And she's a YouTube, Jolisa Rose. Anyways, love her. So journal before bed. Just try it. I think it will help you as much as it has helped me. I also really love the Calm Sleeping app. I think that is one of the subscriptions that is worth it to me because I love the sound of like soothing voices before bed. And some, like, they have notable celebrities and notable voices like read bedtime stories, and I find that like so soothing. I love it. Just like sends like tingles down my spine. I have a few more recommendations for you. One of them being the Nod Pod eye mask. I think this also is one of those things that a lot of creators have like marketed on social media. I will say there have been times where I like it, sometimes that I don't like it. I sometimes get anxiety if something is like weighted on my eyes. I like the Sleep Crown pillow because it's not weighted. It's actually the opposite. It's very fluffy. But But if something is heavy on my face, it kind of makes me feel like I don't like that feeling that much. Sometimes I need it, or like if I'm like sitting up on the couch and I just like want to put my head down, like it's nice, but I don't know. I know that it works for a lot of people, so it might work for you. My nightly routine of skincare is also really important to me. That also kind of signals to my brain that it's time to wind down. I have a very strict skincare regimen. There has not been a single day that I have not done my skincare regimen. So that's important to me. And I love this. There's this brand called Mount Lay, L-A-I, and they have this like jade gua sha roller that I use that it's really therapeutic. It's actually a tension massager, which I find very nice. And yeah, I also love the Slip for Beauty Sleep scrunchies. I have a lot of hair and I feel like the silk doesn't damage your hair as bad as some of the other scrunchies. So they're worth it, in my opinion. They're 100% worth the investment is the Slip scrunchie. 3 more recommendations, and I should have mentioned this when I was talking about room spray, but this is the best laundry detergent scented thing ever created. I'm looking for a perfume that smells like this. If you have recommendations, let me know. But the notes in this are, oh my God, it's so good. Rose, honey, oak moss. Essentially, you just like put these little beads in the washing machine. But like when I crawl into bed and my sheets smell like this, oh my God, I'm in heaven. The other very expensive laundry detergent that I save for like special occasions is Soft Focus by Laundress. This is a very soft, cozy, enveloping scent. Australian sandalwood, orris, and cardamom. This to me is like, it's sleepy time. I usually wash my sheets once a week, but twice a month I'll use this detergent. And it just makes me feel very special, elevated, like a princess. Princess sleep is this one. This is another great gift. Last thing is tea and a sweet treat before sleep. This is the Mirage Freres tea. This is the Rouge Bourbon, which is like a French vanilla rooibos. And you kind of see, so yummy. This with milk and like a cookie is like my favorite bedtime treat, like a shortbread cookie or a really good chocolate chip cookie. Honestly, like my kitties too, like having cats has also helped kind of like force me to get into a better routine, which has been like lovely. And they're great cats too. So that kind of helps me to like signal to my body that it's bedtime. But that's pretty much everything. Again, sleep is such a subjective thing, and what works for me like might not work for you. And I'm hoping that there's like a thing or two on this list that you can try. But again, like some of these things, like the more expensive things, like the Sleep Crown pillow, expensive detergent, like they're not necessary things. Like you don't need these things, but I think that some of them might help a lot, especially that pillow. Ask for it for Christmas. So yeah, that's everything for sleep. What do we have next on our list? This is longer than I expected, so hopefully that's good for you. Maybe let's talk about one thing that you might not know about me is that I love gaming, and not just any type of gaming. I love horror gaming, specifically on the PS2, specifically like old horror games, and unfortunately games that are more difficult to find. I fortunately have a lot of the games, like they were at my mom's house and I went to visit her a while ago, and I found my PS2, I found my old games, not all of them, but the ones that I really, really love. So I've been doing a lot of that on all of my free time. Ask me why I don't sleep. It's because of this shit. And this shit. Anyways, but I find gaming to be very therapeutic. And I love horror gaming because it makes me feel like I can be in control. So for PS2, I think Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly is my favorite PS2 game. I really love this game. Essentially, there are two twin sisters and you have a camera and you like capture photographs of these like paranormal beings. But the aesthetics of this game and just the music, the ambiance, the background, everything about this game, I'm obsessed with. I also really love, I don't have this game. This game is reselling for astronomical amounts of money right now, but it's called Rule of Rose. Love that game. I love Silent Hill 2. I have Silent Hill 2. They actually made a Coraline game, which I don't have anymore. It kind of devastates me because it's really expensive now. But they have a Coraline game on the PS2 that I used to love. And there used to be this game called Obscure, which was basically like you cosplayed as a teenager and you had to, like you were with all your friends and you had to like discover things about the high school, I think. And you had to go like underground and shit. Loved that game too. And I also like, I really love this game a lot, specifically Vice City. Yeah. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite Silent Hill. The game that I really actually want is the Shattered Memory Silent Hill, but again, expensive and very difficult to find. Now, I also have a Nintendo Switch, and what I wanted really bad for my birthday actually was a Nintendo Switch 2 for two reasons. Number one is because they made a Fatal Frame 2 on the PS2, which you might be thinking, why would you need that if you already have it on the PS2? Well, because they've completely upgraded the art and everything, which I love that aspect of gaming. And yeah, I haven't played this yet. Seal still on. Why? Because I don't have a PS2 yet, but I'm hoping that I get one for my birthday. Anywho, I was also gifted Pokepia. So like, I have these and I really want to play them, but I don't have the vessel. So please, birthday gods. The Switch 2 is so expensive. Anyways, my favorite Switch games are, I love Hollow Knight. I love Zelda. I love Zelda. I love Breath of the Wild. I love Majora Mask. Love Zelda. I don't play a lot of other games. Like, yeah, I play Mario Kart and stuff too. What I kind of low-key want to start getting back into is Kingdom Hearts for cozy gaming. Pokepia for cozy gaming. Animal Crossing cozy gaming. Hollow Knight cozy gaming. So yeah, don't ask me why. Like, I find a lot of comfort in this game. Like a lot. So, kind of curious. I should talk about gaming more. It's fun. If you're interested. It's kind of like a niche topic. All right, this video is so long. I'm gonna transition into YouTube now. And after YouTube, I'll just recommend some shows that I've been watching that I've been loving and maybe some book recommendations. For YouTube, I love the channel that plays oldies in another room and it's raining. Or like that you're at grandma's house, oldies playing in another room and it's raining in October, firecracker sounds in the background. Like they're so long, but I love that channel. I love the sound and the aesthetic of that channel so much. Look that up, especially as we get into like Halloween and spooky season. I feel like it's perfect for that. I love watching like Pacific Northwest ambiance videos. And the last recommendation for YouTube that I love is Ethel King. Specifically her lives and specifically her like ghost stories and stuff. I love her so much. I love all of her videos. I love all of that, and her videos bring me so much comfort. So I've been watching a lot of Ethel.
Hello? Finn?
I'm a buff baby that can dance like a man. I can shake a my fanny, I can shake a my can. I'm a tough tootin' baby, I can punch in your buns. Punch in your buns, I can punch all your buns. If you're an evil witch, I will punch you for fun.
Moving on to TV shows, movies, books. I am going to just tell you what I've watched. I probably won't do like a deep dive into all of these and what they're about, just because I don't want to waste a bunch of time because this video is already very long. But I'll just kind of tell you what I've been watching and what I kind of cling to when things feel overwhelming and heavy. For TV shows, if I'm really feeling bad, I will watch old food TV with like Ina Garten. I love watching Anthony Bourdain, Martha Stewart. Any like old food TV, I'm super down for. I love Adventure Time. I watch Adventure Time almost every day. And rewatch and rewatch. I love Over the Garden Wall. And I love watching American Horror Story, specifically Murder House and Coven. And for movies, Coraline, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Love Witch. I've been watching a lot of like campy bubblegum horror type of movies, and I've been obsessed with all of them. Loved Forbidden Fruits, obsessed. Love Jennifer's Body, The Love Witch, I think I just said that. Death Becomes Her. Like, I love all those campy bubblegum horror type of movies. And then for books, sometimes at night I read this. I really enjoy this. If I'm feeling very anxious or overwhelmed, I love this. I love The Bloody Chamber, which is the darker gothic horror version of this. Haunted by Joyce Carol Oates, a new book that I'm reading right now. And The Philosophy of Walking. Okay, that's everything today. Thank you for being here. Welcome back. I'll be posting every week on Sundays. So if there's anything that you're curious about, comfort-wise, horror-wise, if there are any specific topics that you'd like me to talk about, tell me. We're going into the best season of the entire year, so I have lots of fun things planned, lots of spooky things planned. So I'm excited to see you next week.